First on Worcester News tonight, the Worcester County St. Patrick's Parade names its Grand Marshal. He's a familiar face here in the city. Plus, WPI honors its prestigious alums, dedicating a new space on campus to celebrate their accomplishments. But first tonight, we begin with flags at half-staff across the city as Worcester salutes a native son and a true hero. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The city manager's office announcing tonight the Honorable Paul Mullaney has died. Mullaney earned the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, and 3 Purple Hearts, serving in the Marine Corps in World War II and Korea. He was elected to the city council and the mayor's office before serving years as a district court judge. In 2014, Worcester dedicated City Hall Plaza in his name. The city manager is ordering all flags at municipal buildings be lowered to half-staff. City Manager Edward Augustus says our community lost a true hero with the passing of the Honorable Paul Mullaney. Judge Mullaney was a testament to public service. Worcester Polytechnic Institute celebrates its History Wednesday, unveiling its new Hall of Luminaries. The exclusive award celebrates alumni with significant contributions to society and have had great success in their careers. Our Cam Jandro was at today's ceremony and joins us now with more. Cam?
Anna, the school has been working on this project for more than 2 years. Today, they celebrated the men and women who'll be enshrined forever at WPI.
Worcester Polytechnic Institute enshrines 11 of its most influential alumni. Monday, the school held its inaugural Hall of Luminaries induction, celebrating WPI grads who've made great contributions to society.
We're very focused on the impact of WPI in the world, and this helps us amplify that with great examples. And the second reason is, I want people to be really proud of what members of our community have accomplished.
1973 graduate Dean Kamen is an inventor and entrepreneur in the field of medical technology. Kamen is one of only 4 inductees still living. He says he wouldn't be the man he is today without WPI.
But while I didn't get a classical degree, I got a phenomenal education. And I used it for the last 4 decades to help create technologies and solutions to real problems.
The school also chose Robert Goddard as an inductee for the first ever class of luminaries. Goddard, a central Massachusetts native, is known as the father of modern rocketry. The deputy director of NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center accepted the award, saying the space program would not be the same without Goddard.
We're going to have one from Wallops Island, Virginia next week and one from Vandenberg next week, launching a weather satellite. Without Robert Goddard, that wouldn't have been possible.
The display will permanently live in the school's Rubin Campus Center. The hope is the Hall of Luminaries will motivate the students who pass by it every day.
Having kids say, wow, those are real people that created those solutions to horrible problems is really a neat idea.
They will see what others who were once in their shoes have accomplished. I wanted to inspire them to do more and be more and create more impact in the world.
Now, President Leshin tells me the college will only induct a select number of graduates, and it will take place every other year. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. The Worcester County St. Patrick's Parade Committee announces their 2018 Grand Marshal. The honoree this year is Billy Riley. For several years now, Riley has served as manager of the St. John's Food Kitchen, serving between 500 to 700 meals daily. Members of the committee say there were 8 nominees, but Riley was ultimately chosen for his good work in Worcester over the years, including his commitment to helping feed those less fortunate.
Of course, his Irish background with his 16 sisters and brothers and his, with his strong Irish background. So, and the good works that he does for the community in St. John's. And that's why we chose him.
Yeah, it was surprising. Yeah, it's tough to surprise me, when you run a soup kitchen and you feed as many people as I do. You don't get surprised that often, you know what I'm saying? But it's a great honor.
Riley will be honored at the annual Grand Marshal Award Dinner January 27th at St. Spiridon in Worcester. A national nonprofit gives Selfridges Harrington Hospital a straight A for patient safety, and it's not the first time. Patient safety experts from the Leapfrog Group say the hospital is one of 59 in the country to receive consecutive high marks. Since 2012, Harrington Hospital has consistently been awarded an A. Harrington Hospital also recently received Press Ganey scores, which indicate the hospital is not only meeting, but surpassing its patient satisfaction goals, landing in the 96th percentile for outpatient services. A city park getting a new look, thanks to the city's initiative to revamp fields throughout the city. Leaders gathered today at Glodis Field, named in honor of longtime Worcester State Rep, the late William Glodis Jr. A lot of progress has already been made to the park, which is next to the Vernon Hill School. It will be Worcester's first city park with an artificial turf field with lights. The city manager says this is part of the Quality of Life initiative in Worcester.
You know, there's a lot of great stuff happening downtown, but people still live in their neighborhoods. And these are real assets and amenities in neighborhoods where on the weekend you can go with your kids or, you know, get some exercise yourself and be part of a team that comes down and has good quality parks in order to enjoy. And it increases the value of people's homes when they live in close proximity to well-kept, well-maintained parks.
The city has put $2 million into the park. In the past 2 years, the city has spent a total of $20 million rehabbing various parks. Glodis Field will open early next spring. A local organization committed to advancing women's rights celebrates its 40th anniversary. A large group gathered this evening at Girls Inc. in Worcester to celebrate the Advisory Committee on the Status of Women. The committee was developed by the city in 1977 to empower women economically and promote diversity. City and state leaders honored their accomplishments. There were performances by Girls Inc. members, a panel discussion, and past members were recognized for their commitment. The committee chair says there's been a lot of progress in advancing women's rights, but there's still more to be done.
I state your name.
You know, women, we have that gender pay gap. We have a lack of representation in different fields. I think that there's a lot of different economic and personal issues that women face right now that just really aren't being addressed.
The committee meets the first Tuesday of every month, and meetings are open to the public. Worcester community leaders are coming together and pledging to bring civility to local politics. It's an effort led by former Worcester Mayor Joe O'Brien, who says a more welcoming environment in city politics is long overdue. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
The election is less than a week away, and Worcester leaders are looking for signatures. It's for an online petition called One Worcester Pledge, aiming to bring more respect and participation to local government.
A lot of the toxic national discord around political life has seeped into our local political and civic dialogue.
Former Mayor Joe O'Brien is spearheading the pledge, which reads in part, "Sadly today, some community members and elected officials are using social media and blogs to marginalize members of our community." Reverend Jose Encarnacion signed it. He's married to City Councilor Sarai Rivera, and he's asking for change.
Various lines were crossed where personal attacks on individuals became the norm. That became the point where we are certainly headed in the wrong direction.
Candidates who sign promise to create an atmosphere where all residents, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or religion, are respected.
I think it's going to somewhat sort of put a spotlight on those that may or may not want to sign on to this pledge or even abide by the pledge.
O'Brien says the current political environment in the city is impacting participation. Between city council and school committee, it's the smallest field of candidates he's seen in his 30 years in politics.
People don't want to run because they know that if they do, they'll be subject to attacks. Their families may get attacked. And when too few people are running, that's bad for all of us here in our community and across our country.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
The president of UMass Memorial Medical Center announcing he'll be retiring at the end of the year. Patrick Muldoon became president back in August of 2013 after nearly 40 years in healthcare. When Muldoon accepted the president position, he had announced his date of retirement would be January 1st, 2018. UMass Memorial Healthcare CEO Eric Dixon announces the retirement date and is praising Muldoon for his hard work as part of the UMass Memorial family. Well, Worcester police tackling a dangerous new trend with middle school students Wednesday. The officers are teaching bike safety and warning kids not to take part in swerving. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the details.
Dozens of middle schoolers raise their hand when asked if they swerve at cars while riding bicycles.
People around this age tend to feel invincible.
Swerving is a trend Worcester police want to stop. Over the last few months, they've seen teens riding bikes directly at cars and turning away at the last second.
It is the most dangerous thing to do on a bicycle.
Wednesday, police spoke to students at Forest Grove Middle School about bike safety and the rules of the road.
Given the level of recklessness we've seen in some of these young riders, it's very important to go and talk to everybody and just bring some attention to the issue before somebody else gets hurt.
Police plan on talking to teens in schools across the city. Swerving is not only dangerous. Police are telling students they can be arrested or cited if caught.
It causes problems not only for the rider, but also for the motorist. Who gets incredibly nervous, might panic at the last minute and turn into the way the bike's trying to turn into.
A 15-year-old was seriously hurt after he was involved in a bike crash earlier this month. Police say it wasn't a case of swerving, but their overall message to kids is be aware of their surroundings.
Pay attention to what you're doing, 100% all the time.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester's municipal election is less than a week away, and over the next several nights, we'll be catching up with the at-large councilor candidates. Each weeknight leading up to the November 7th date, we have a preview asking each candidate what they feel are the most important issues facing the city. Tonight, we hear from incumbent Mo Bergman. Bergman has served 4 years and is seeking a third term.
We do a great job having our police officers in neighborhoods that are challenged with crime, but I think we could expand that to neighborhoods that aren't necessarily challenged with crime, but still concerned. There's nothing more comforting than seeing 2 police officers on foot walking through your neighborhood. They get to learn who the neighbors are, who belongs there and who doesn't, and I think as we increase the number of police officers, we should try to expand that so that everybody in the city, including those that pay taxes, feel that they've got an equal share of police protection. I think properly funding the schools, because we've got so much opportunity for people to move from outside of Worcester into Worcester, but I think the schools need to reflect the commitment that we give it. And I need people that want to move to the city of Worcester need to know that we have that commitment so that they choose Worcester over so many other locations.